If you're retiring and interested in moving abroad, what research do you need to do to get started? This video is going to show you an example of what successful researching could look like. If you're new to our channel, our family of four has successfully moved to live abroad for 4 years. We've helped other individuals and families plan and research how to get started with their move abroad. So we want you to know that the key word is research. In researching, it's the key to unlocking your successful move abroad because it prepares you for as much as you can prepare, right? You can't prepare for everything, but if you don't plan to plan, you plan to fail. When we say research, we're referring to you owning your own process to finding out what you can about your target country. There's a lot of research that you should do before you even do the scouting trip. And this research is absolutely necessary if you can't do a scouting trip. We're going to look at several countries, about 7 as a matter of fact, and they're just an example of what your research results could look like, okay? So we're going to take a look at Rwanda, Namibia, Colombia, Mauritius, Belize, Ghana, and Kenya. When you're going to research, the most important thing you can do is go to the country's website. There are a lot of URLs out there run by consultants, CPAs, organizations that help you, and they're excellent. They're great. Great statistical data there. But start from the horse's mouth, the country's own website. Go there. We need you to know these disclaimers, all right? Country laws and their economies, they're going to change over time, like the exchange rate goes up and down, meaning their local currency compared to US dollar. So that's going to always be changing. When we talk about language, and I'm saying, well, they mainly speak English, surely somebody out there is going to say, well, wait a minute, I know that they don't mainly speak English, but I can get by. Well, I'm just looking at if you're a retiree in this particular case, and we decided to do our research based on what is the likelihood that you could just go just about anywhere and it's going to be speaking English, all right? Anytime we're talking about ballpark numbers here, they're approximations. Please keep that in mind. Things change over time. Also, another reason why you need to own the research yourself is because each country has its own laws, meaning the length of time that you need to be staying in their country, even under a retirement visa. The age requirements, for example, Colombia might have an age requirement of 40 and another country might have 57. How about a simple thing like this? So we've got some monthly costs for renting an apartment. So we pretty much decided on furnished apartment, like a 1-bedroom kind of a deal. Yeah, the prices are up and down and all over the place. We also need you to consider, are you moving or looking for an apartment in a urban area versus a rural area? Are you looking at like city center? Are you near an airport? There's all kinds of considerations like that. It's the location thing. So the prices can vary. So we're just giving you ballparks, all right? Little note here. When you have a large number of expats moving in an area, over time, the prices tend to increase. Prices of what? Groceries, prices of rentals, prices of vehicle rentals, apartment rentals, housing costs. They tend to slowly rise. Why? Because expats can afford the higher price. Let's pause. Do you have a system, a plan already to get started with your goal to move abroad? In the comments, we want you to type a 1, which means yes, or just hit 0, which means no. No, I don't have a plan to get started. Share that. Now, we do have workshops if you're interested in going deeper into that, where we answer questions. Then I recommend that you take a look at it, all right? Go to the link. I'm sure there's going to be a link in the description, and we got a workshop coming up here in May. And so it gives you an opportunity to talk to our family and talk to 4 of us and learn about what our experiences as a family were firsthand And also we have structured things for you so that you don't have to come up with something out of the left field, out of the blue. So you have to-dos, spreadsheets, task lists, how to prioritize things, how to really work on things. You got that kind of stuff going on. And we've gotten a lot of great comments. We got great testimonies, not one, not two, not three, more than 4, 5, 7 testimonies that you can go to our website and hear those right now, as a matter of fact. So I say, come on out. All right, so here it is. It's in front of you. A nice spreadsheet showing all 7 of those countries I named. I'm going to go through them. All right, reminder that all of our entries, they are based on ballpark approximations. They are for research purposes only. You got to do your own thorough research. All right, so the columns we have. Well, we've got the country. We're going to look at language, and as I explained earlier, do they mainly speak English? Not just in the hospitals or some critical places where maybe expats would go. What is the monthly retirement income? Or in other words, the minimum monthly, if you have to have one, to be on a retirement visa or permit in that country. What is the average monthly apartment rental? And how about the average monthly grocery costs? Can you own property? And that's different than can you own land. We didn't look at can you own land. That's a totally different topic. We only looked at can you own property. And the reason why that is because in many countries, believe it or not, what they'll do is they will lease the land to you. So that's a totally different topic. And if you are on a retirement, residency, visa, or permit, how long does it last before you have to renew it? All right, so let's go through them. We'll start with ours, where we're living now. Right behind me, this is Tanzania, Zanzibar. And that is, although country with Tanzania, there's going to be some laws that are different in Zanzibar than in Tanzania. So we're just looking at Zanzibar for right now. Do they mainly speak English here? No. Are you going to find some people who do? Yeah, but Swahili is what they're speaking here. What's the monthly retirement, the monthly minimum retirement income? Well, when we completed our second round of retirement residence permits, there is no minimum. There was no minimum the first time. Do they ask you to show source of income? Absolutely. Yes, you got to show bank statements. You got to show some form of income coming in. All right, in terms of the average cost of a monthly apartment rental, let's say about $600. And what about grocery costs? $350. If you were to eat the local food, you could get by for a whole lot less. But I'm trying to be for real here because people, don't lie to yourself. You think you're going to do all this minimum stuff, but when you realize that you have left your home country and you're looking for comfort, one of the places that you look for comfort is in food, comfort food, and that's what you're most familiar with, and that's going to be a little bit higher price than the local food and what they're eating. Okay, so can you own property here? Yes, you can. Let's see here. How long does the residency permit that we have last? It lasts 2 years, and then we got to re-up again. Let's move on over to Rwanda. That's another country we lived in for almost a year. Do they mainly speak English there? No. They're speaking Kinyarwandan. They're speaking Swahili. They're speaking French, probably. So, if you were going to retire there, what is the minimum monthly income you need to have? $5,000. If you were renting an apartment, about $500 an average on month, $300 for grocery costs. Can you own property in Rwanda? Yes, you can. And how long will that retirement residency last? Well, 6 to 24 months. Things do change. We had a 10-year visa, tourist visa to Rwanda. I still have that, as a matter of fact. And but that still meant that I had to leave, I think it was every 6 months, out of the country and come back in. So I don't know if they offer, I don't think they offer that 10-year visa anymore. But anyway, if necessary, go take a look at our video that had to do with Should let's see, you strive for citizenship in a country? Because a lot of times people put the cart before the horse, and you really just need to get started moving out of America or the UK or Canada or wherever. You need to get started moving out of that first, and you get it step by step. As a matter of fact, citizenship usually takes a whole bunch of other criteria to meet. Let's move on down to Namibia. So Namibia is on the southwest corner of the continent of Africa. Do they speak mainly English? Yes, they do. Yes. Is there a monthly minimum retirement income? No, but you do need to purchase a property for $135,000, which means, yes, you can own property there. Monthly apartment rental might be $900, $950, something like that. Monthly grocery, about $400. Remember, you got the ocean there. You're on the ocean. You got the sand and all that kind of stuff. The desert is really beautiful. How long is this retirement residence visa last? It's indefinite. Wow. Okay. Let's go on over to the West now, Colombia, the country of Colombia. All right. Do they speak mainly English there? No, Spanish, right? Is there a monthly retirement income that there's a minimum that you have to meet? Yes, about $1,040. What about to rent an apartment? What's that going to run me? We're looking at maybe $640. To get food and groceries, we're looking at maybe $300. Can I own property? I already covered that one. The answer was yes. And for how many years is a retirement visa going to work for me? 3 years, okay? Now, back to an island point of view. So we have two islands on here, Zanzibar and Mauritius. Mauritius. Do they mainly speak English there? Actually, no. Are you going to find some people who do? Yeah, sure you will. But for the most part, no. They're going to be speaking Creole, French, things like that, okay? What is the minimum monthly retirement income I got to have to live there? $1,500. And they promoted extensively the retirement visa from their president on down, okay? If I want to rent an apartment there, a furnished one, what am I looking at? I don't know, give or take $950. Could be more, could be less. Groceries, look to spend maybe $500 in that ballpark per month. Can I own property? Yes, you can. And for how long is my retirement visa going to be good for? Well, 10 years, good long time. All right, swing back further west. Let's go to Belize, okay, down in Central America. Do they speak mainly English? Yes, it's so close to the United States, as a matter of fact. And you can fly from some places in Georgia, Florida, Texas in 3 hours, I suppose. Is there a minimum monthly retirement fee or income you got to have? $2,000. Oh, and in a lot of cases for these countries like Mauritius, like Belize, you're not giving them this money. You just have to have it in a local bank. So it's still your money to spend, okay? And I guess Belize is cool to think about because it's so close to Canada if you're coming from there, or the United States. So that works out very well. What about renting an apartment there? Very inexpensive at about $350, give or take, either way, per month. And also $450 if you're thinking about what is my grocery cost going to be. And that's for 1 or 2 people right in there. And that's what all of ours were for. Maybe 1, 2 people, something like that, all right? Can you own property in Belize? Yes, you can. And how long is my retirement permit visa going to last? 1 year. Now, back over to the continent of Africa for our final 2. Let's go to East Africa. So let's talk about, further up north, as a matter of fact, Ghana. Do they mainly speak English? Yes. Is there a monthly retirement income required of me if I retire there? Actually, there's no minimum. You just need to indicate that you are getting a stable income from your pension or something. All right, which was the same for Zanzibar. And actually, it's pretty much the same for all of these. You just need to prove it. But they don't have some dollar amount. You have some threshold at this point in time. What about what if I want to rent an apartment? What's it going to look like and purchase groceries? We're talking $500 give or take, and $300 for groceries, for food costs. Can I own property in Ghana? Yes. Um, but owning property in any land is a pretty serious matter, and you really want to make sure you have done all your scouting. You know that's where you're going to stay, because the majority of people move again. And also you want to make sure you're using a good local lawyer to help you with the land process. That's not a deed do-it-yourself thing. No, it's not. So how long does the residency last if I'm in Ghana? 4 years. Lastly, Kenya. Do they mainly speak English there? Yes. In fact, I interact with a lot of Kenyans here, as a matter of fact. Is there a minimum monthly retirement income amount? Yes, $2,000. And what if I want to rent an apartment, furnish, and purchase groceries? Looking at maybe $500. Can I pay less? Yeah, depends on if you're at the city center, if you're further out. Maybe if you can go down to Mombasa or something like that. Going to be much less, okay? And those groceries, maybe $300 or so per month. Just kind of a ballpark figure. Can I own property in Kenya? Absolutely, yes, you can. And if I'm on a retirement visa, and that's the only kind we were talking about today, how long is it going to last? 2 years. And then I got to look at renewing it. If you're doing your research right, you need some results that are even more detailed than those I gave you. And you need columns that are showing you, okay, this is what I'm working with here. Because those help you long before you're going to do your scouting trip, because you're going to narrow down the countries that you want to scout. Because you're not going to every country on your list. You're never going to do that. And we really help people to put together a system and a plan. And that's what people who attend our workshop are saying. People who are attending our workshop are saying, wow, now I can get started. Now I've got a plan. What further questions should you ask? What types of questions should you ask when you're doing your research? Well, how about this? Is the visa renewable, and how many times? What if, okay, I know I was talking about retirement, but a lot of people are thinking business, and just take this as extra bonus. If you want to start a business, do you need a local partner with you? And if so, how much of a percentage of the business does the government require them to own? Because in some places it may be 51%, which is the majority, right? All right, back on topic here. So what if you're getting a retirement visa from some particular country? You need to, in your research, take a look at, find out, what about your spouse or partner? Are they going to be covered? Are they listed as a dependent? Do they have to get their own? What's that mean? What about health insurance? Because I mean, a lot of countries require you to have health insurance, but some of them don't even check. So I mean, it may list as mandatory, and what have you got now? And does that cover what you need? How long must I remain in a country? Some countries require you, like Colombia has a minimum amount of time you need to be there per year. So you need to check on that. Other countries have no requirements. What age do you need to be retired? Maybe you can be 40 in some place in Latin America, and you might need to be 57 in a country in East Africa. How long is the leasehold in the country? So I'm talking about property that you purchase, which is sitting on land. So some places may have 50 years, 55 years. Some places may have 99 years. Why is that? Well, it might be because they prefer that the land remain with the government, and they allow you, your property to sit on that land, and they allow you to purchase on top of it, and then it reverts back to them. Oh, don't worry about it, because actually, at least if you're coming from the United States, I'm not sure about UK or Canada, same thing, but it just isn't said like that in the United States. Have you ever heard of a thing called eminent domain? And yes, people have lost their property because of eminent domain, and they got some kind of dollar amount for it. So it's just a different terminology. I'm sure there are other nuances too, but I'm just giving you things to think about. The point was, when you're doing your research, what does success look like? It looks like you're covering many of particular areas. That's what it looks like. So if you're interested in moving abroad, what do you need to assist you? Let us know down in the comments. Just type the number if you feel like it. You can type the words too. Is it scouting trip guidance number 1? Is it healthcare considerations number 4? Is it help choosing a country number 6? By the way, you can register for our members only masterclass where how to do these items is all covered. So it's fantastic. You need to be there. Lastly, if you want a digital nomad version of this video, please type digital nomad down in the comments. Just type digital nomad. Okay? Thank you.
One night, can we